Hare Krishna. Namaste. Chapter 5, entitled as Karma Sannyasa Yogam. Sloka 1. Arjuna uvāca sannyāsaṁ karmaṇāṁ Kṛṣṇa punar yogaṁ śaṁsasi chreya etayor ekaṁ tanme brūhi su-niścitam. And the chapter that we are entering now is Karma Sannyasa Yoga, chapter 5. We saw in chapter 4 that it dealt with nature of Karma Yoga, including it being of the form of knowledge, how one should see the karma in the platform of knowledge. The varieties of karma has also been explained in that 4th chapter. Various varieties. We saw close to 14 varieties of karma that one can perform in Karma Yoga. And the main essence of all this thing is to see everything as jnana, jnanakara, as a knowledge, jnana. In this, Kṛṣṇa explained how Karma Yoga leads to direct vision of the self. Now, what has been explained in this chapter 5 is how that direct vision of the self can be achieved quickly, faster than the Jnana Yoga program. So that's a big difference from what we have seen so far and what we are going to see in this chapter. This has not been a discussion so far. Arjuna understands that Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga both gives a result. But which one gives quick result? So here in this chapter we'll see that Kṛṣṇa explains Karma Yoga gives a quicker result than the Jnana Yoga. That's one of the main theme of this chapter. And this chapter, as we said, is entitled as Karma Sannyasa Yoga. It has 29 slokas. Shorter chapter compared to the others that we saw so far. Sannyasa means to give up. The chapter name is Karma Sannyasa Yoga. That doesn't mean that one has to give up karma, their duty, one's duty. But what it means is not to give up the karma, but to give up the mentality of doership, that I am the doer. That a person was doing an action, he gives up kartritva buddhi, that I am the doer. And that is why this chapter is entitled as Karma Sannyasa Yoga. So we all know that ultimately we want to fully devote ourselves to Kṛṣṇa by performing bhakti towards him. And we also know that bhakti is the only means to attain Kṛṣṇa, to attain moksha. But to attain that level of bhakti, to constantly think about Kṛṣṇa, to constantly chant on Kṛṣṇa's holy name, to not think about anything else, 24/7 be in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. To attain that stage, one has to remove those enemies, bhakti virodhi, obstacles. Unless and until those virodhis, the enemies of bhakti, is removed, one cannot come to that stage. Now, for one to remove that virodhi, the method that Kṛṣṇa is recommending is by practicing Karma Yoga. Once this bhakti virodhi are removed by practicing Karma Yoga, then one can happily perform Bhakti Yoga without any interruption. And while doing Bhakti Yoga, whatever left out obstacles, those are a block for attaining Kṛṣṇa, called moksha virodhi. Those obstacles will be removed by practice of Bhakti Yoga. And by the end of prarabdha karma, one will attain moksha through the Bhakti Yoga process. And that's the sequence. So we should know that we have collected so much of karma, punya and papa karmas. And quite often there's a question asked, how do we know what is punya and what is papa? If one does things as per the teachings of Dharmasastra, as per the teaching of Kṛṣṇa, it is punya. If one doesn't get engaged in things that Dharmasastra doesn't recommend, doesn't want us to do, and that is also punya. If one does things that are not recommended by Dharmasastra, they are papa. And finally, if one doesn't do things that are recommended by Dharmasastra, they are also papa. So the papa and punya can be classified in these 4 ways, where we can know what is papa, whether I'm doing papa or punya. If we do as per the teachings of Dharmasastra, then that is punya. If we do things against the Dharmasastra, that is papa. If we don't do things that is recommended by Dharmasastra, then that is papa. And if we do things which is not recommended in Dharmasastra, and that is also papa. And this is how we can classify what is papam and what is punya. And by this, we know how much we must have accumulated this papa and punya for several lifetimes. And the output of this papa and punya that we have collected is sukha and dukkham. That is, one gets sukham, happiness, as a result of good deeds, punya. And one gets dukkham, miseries, as a result of papa, sin. So many karmas, sanchita karma, prarabdha karma, we have collected so many of these. In them, there are some karmas that will stop us from starting the Bhakti Yoga. And some karmas within the karma stop us to attain moksha. Those karmas which are hindrance to attain moksha are removed by performing Bhakti Yoga by the grace of the Lord. Whereas even to do that bhakti, there are karmas which are like a big roadblock. Those karmas has to be removed. And removal of those karmas, bhakti virodhi karmas, is performed by practicing karma yoga. That's the only option left. Now, attaining self-realization or vision of Atma is not the only goal or ultimate end of it. The next is to understand Paramatma realization. So we'll cover more on this one in our next session. Namaste. Hare Krishna.